Good afternoon. I make this video for the overseas audience. I want to put it on YouTube. And it's about an article that was published in The Sun. Farmer Tax Syndicate Bust. It was on the Thursday, October the 26th in 2017. By Victor Glungwane. I'm going to read for you the article. Now, it's interesting that whenever I talk about the white genocide in South Africa, YouTube thinks it's nice to put a disclaimer on under the video to tell us there's no white genocide. It's a conspiracy theory. There's no something like the replacement theory, the whites that whites are being replaced. The white genocide, white extinction, or white replacement conspiracy theory is a white nationalist conspiracy theory that claims there is a deliberate plot, often blamed on Jews for a reason, to cause the extinction of white people through forced assimilation, mass immigration, or violent genocide. So that is the disclaimer that YouTube puts under this video, if I'm going to put it on YouTube. Interesting, no? Oh, interesting. And those people that started the Wikipedia are both people that are very pro-Jewish and were funded by Jewish institutions. But let's come back to it. Everyone that's got eyes in his head should be able to tell you there's definitely an agenda to get rid of white people on this earth. Even the Bible tells you that. Farm attacks are well planned and evil within. From the article Research and Investigation by Christopher Gumby and Yolanda Nell, writing for The Observer. Claims of kingpins in charge of well-planned crime operations with connections in government highly trained hit squads using children to secure intelligence in farm attacks. Occasional acts of intimidation to force landowners off their property and inhuman physical trauma inflicted on victims of such heinous crimes speak of the evil that characterizes incidents committed against inhabitants of some of the remotest locations in South Africa. And just this past week, an old lady of 80 years in Bronkhorstspruit was attacked by, I think, 8 black men, and they burned her with a blowtorch. So that is the reality of South Africa. Limpopo is no exception, and when embarking on research into farm attacks, University of Limpopo research assistant Christopher Gumby couldn't possibly have been prepared for unearthing the sorrow bottled up in recollections of physical trauma shared by victims of such crimes. Shedding tears with survivors as they revisited the horrors of the past, he got a glimpse of a form of crime that threatens food security and in turn the economy of the country. His findings were consolidated in a 117-page thesis for a Master of Arts degree from the Department of Criminology and Criminal Justice at UL, University of Limpopo, which he obtained in September this year. Gumby investigations of the motivational factors for farm attacks and its consequential injuries phenomena looks into such crimes committed in parts of Limpopo and Mpumalanga between 2005 and 2015, bringing him into contact with 23 individuals and groupings who have all been survivors. Limpopo is no exception. Attackers with military training, listen carefully. Some of the victims maintained the belief that the attackers were a mix of South Africans and Zimbabwean with military training, according to the information contained in the study. In one incident, the victim recalled that the attackers collected all spent cartridges on the scene. In another attack, the assailants allegedly ran more than 4 kilometers while carrying rifles to their gateway vehicle and changed clothes in order for them not to be recognized. So they are very well trained. Attackers believed to be a form of intimidation. Now, remember what I told in a previous video? You'll see it on YouTube. It's the war of the flea. 78% of the respondents who report farm attacks related a form of intimidation aimed at driving farmers off their land. A female victim informed him that she had believed the attack on her farm was a form of intimidation because the attackers never stole anything but just started firing through the windows of the house without prior warning. More than 60 shots were fired. My husband shot back with a .38 revolver. He tossed the phone for me to call for help. They shot him in the head. They never came inside. The attackers shouted that they will kill all. A farmer who reported that he was attacked by 12 men informed the researcher that one drew a gun and started shooting. When asked what their primary objective of attacking the farm was, they responded that it was not about cattle, money, guns or jewelry, but about taking control of the farm. 39% of the respondents stated that they knew the attackers. A respondent who was attacked twice in 2007 and 2014 said his wife knew one of the attackers because she recognized his voice during the initial attack. Gambie quoted survivors who were asked whether farms with poor security were singled out for attacks as saying poor security is not a contributing factor. It's all about brutal revenge and financial purposes. And I don't think poor security is a point here. These attacks are orchestrated by some leader somewhere who wants to drive farmers off their land. The government. It's the government. The government is behind this. That's why these people are, if they don't catch these people, they are not put in jail. There's no real action from the government against farm attacks because the farm attackers are doing the government's job. Farm attacks needs to be addressed holistically, hence the researcher concedes more role players such as all government departments and non-profit organizations needs to play a more active role. Well, it's not going to happen in South Africa. Gambie points out that unless security on farms is made a national priority, it will be never, because it is against the government's aims. Farm attacks will continue to increase. He recommends that it gets prioritized and discussed as a part of South Africa's national agenda, particularly in the parliament. That's the same parliament where the EFF leader sits that says, kill the boer, kill the farmer. It's not hate speech anymore. And he will take land regardless who says anything else. He and his followers. And we know that Cyril Ramaphosa took his side after he came back from his conversation with Trump. The South African justice system needs to recognize farm attacks as a criminal charge of its own with a strict mandatory minimum sentence applied. Okay, after 30 years, nothing will happen, I can promise you. Gambie expressed great concern over farm attacks in South Africa not being given the necessary attention by the government, considering the effects such crimes have on economy and the well-being of victims, families and communities. And why not? Because they are white. When the victims are white, the government does not care. The government got a lot of race-based laws. Like I said, if there's race in the law, if the word race is somewhere in the law, it's a race-based law. So don't let us be stupid here. And there's a lot of this leftist media, CNN, MSNBC, ABC, and they all run the same old agenda. It's not happening. So if we don't talk about it, it does not happen. You see? It's stupid. And this is all, and it's part of an agenda. This is all part of an agenda. And the agenda is to get all this land into the communist hands. The so-called radical economic transformation, which is really all about getting everything into the hands of the government, like what we will see in the World Economic Forum. You will own nothing and you will be very happy. That sounds more like a command than something else. Anyway, so I ask you to send this to other people overseas so that we can get more and more people just to listen to regular news from South Africa in English, so that we can work against the leftist media that spreads a lot of lies.